Hey everyone, welcome to the Afrocentric Woman. Hope that y'all are doing great. Yes. Let me know if my audio is too bad. I'm on my Wi-Fi, which is for whatever reason always unstable. I don't know. I think I need a new box or something. I think I need a more powerful modem. I think it's what it is. But I'm gonna try to push through. I mean, hopefully it works somewhat. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to experiment with um my age preference on the dating apps. So I lowered the age down to closer to my own age. And what I can tell you is that I hate it here. I mean, I just hate it here. And I think if this, like, if this is what y'all have been experiencing, then I can see why you're disgruntled. Like, I can literally see the frustration, the irritation. I can understand a lot better because it's really trash. I've never seen so much dust I haven't seen this much dust in a long time. Just low effort dust. I literally just unmatched somebody who said that they wanted to go walk and talk, I guess outside or something. I don't know. But it's really trash. Like I hate it over here. I'm about to, maybe I'll let this experiment run a little bit longer, but I'm about to change my preferences back. I do best with 45 and up. Pardon me, 48 and up. I might go down to 45, but it just depends. Late 40s is where it's at for better treatment. Because the other conversation that I'm having with this older gentleman, he is planning a date for January because he's like, "Oh, the holidays, blah blah blah." Um, you know, da 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 da, and I think he wants to give me a dress and some shoes because he's making predictions on my dress size. So, I mean, I don't talk about clothes, nor do I give a man an opportunity to tell me what to wear unless he's buying it. So, I'm assuming he's asking because he's trying to buy me something, which is fine. Christmas is coming up. And so this is an older guy. So I don't know how y'all do it for y'all who be dealing with these guys in their 30s and early 40s because ooh, Lord, the dust. I just can't. I mean, I've just seen so much crazy stuff over the past. What did I change it? I think I changed my settings maybe like a few days ago. And I haven't seen any viable people. If y'all hear this tapping, it's because I'm trying to untangle my daughter's little hair bows, these little bobos. Trying to untangle them. They're all tangled up. But yeah, let me know your experience. I mean, with your age, because I know it's like sometimes, the ladies are sending me messages on the Discord or sending me messages on Instagram or other groups that I'm networking in, and the type of stuff that they encounter. And it's like, it's all coming from these younger guys. Like, I don't know if a light bulb goes off at some point in time where they just tend to behave a little bit better when they're older. Um, I think maybe some of them have been like a little bit housebroken, you know what I'm saying? Like they've been in long relationships, either married or, the older men, they've either been married and divorced or they just have been in longer term relationships. So they at least have some idea about how to treat a woman. But yeah, I literally just took a screenshot of this guy who put in his profile something about winning a king. He said he says you should be a cheerful one. Hold on. Let me see if I could just read it to you. Let me see what this dude said. A kind, caring, humble woman. Oh, you always want to run when they say humble. with a big smile and cheerful spirit, whose laughter can warm the heart and her goodness can win a king. Her goodness can win a king. I mean, if that is not the most trash bag logic, oh my goodness. So, this guy thinks that you need to try to win a king. These guys think that they're the prize. It's really gross. Oh my God. It is so freaking gross. I just don't. What did Teddy tell me the other day? He was like, no, he literally said, he was like, I am so lucky to have you. I'm so lucky to be with you. You know? So, that's the energy that I prefer. That's the energy that I like. I want a man to think that he's lucky to be with me because he tries. He tries. And, I need to get some maintenance done to my car. And I had already told Teddy about it. And he's been really busy with his business. And I was kind of low key getting irritated about it because I don't like nagging men. I really don't like to nag my man. I'd rather just, if you tell me you're going to do it, and I'd rather you just do it. I don't want to follow up with you 1,000 times about something that you said you're going to do. So I was about to just go ahead and find some time and get it done. And he brought it up like, I know I need to do this and this and for your car. And I was like, well, yeah. And I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad you brought it up because I was thinking about it and da 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 da. And he's trying to make a whole day out of it, and I really don't want to do that. He's like, oh well, yeah, we make a whole. I really am not trying to do all that. He's like, it's gonna be fun, and I'll take the car, and then we can go to the mall and da da da. Da. I'm like, I just want you to take the car, really, and just go do the car. I have other things that I need to do, dear. But anyway, we'll figure out the logistics. But I just appreciate him following up about something that he said he was going to do for me because I was like quietly getting irritated. All right. So, yeah, I just can't. I don't know how y'all do it. And that's why sometimes when I get some of the messages, I already know the guy is young. I'm like, "Oh, that how old is he?" That's usually my first question. Y'all know when you be talking to me, when y'all talk to me and y'all ask me questions, that'd be like the first thing that I ask when you're telling me your situation. How old is he? How old is he? Because that will determine a lot. And if you only deal with younger guys, you're gonna have a lot of challenges. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have a lot of challenges. I don't know where the decent younger guys are. I don't even know if there are any left. I don't know where they are. I don't know where you find them. I don't know if anybody has found any, but I haven't, you know. Well, I have one younger guy who's been following up with me, but I need to figure out what I want him to give me because he needs to apologize for some like going a long time without communicating for no reason. Well, I mean, I'm sure he had something going on or whatever. You know how they do when they get distracted. But nonetheless, nothing that was my fault. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not my fault, I don't want to be punished. So you need to come bearing gifts. That's how I feel. Um, oh my goodness. I guess I should maybe. It's just I started to do some screenshots of some of these like dusty approaches. One guy texted me, and I don't know what is going on because I know I filtered out certain groups of people, but I'm still getting contacted anyway. So I don't know how they're like getting around my filters. I'm not sure. But one guy was like, he didn't introduce himself. He didn't compliment me. He was just like brunch or dinner. Just assuming that if you asked me out on a date, you're assuming I would say yes. So instead of you asking me out on a date, introducing yourself. Hi, hello, my name is Bob. What's your name? You look absolutely stunning. You look gorgeous. I would love to get to know you. Maybe even one day have an opportunity to take you out on a date. These guys have no freaking social skills. They're just so, like, they really think that they are just the prize. They think they think that, you're supposed to do all the heavy lifting and all of this and that. And if a guy doesn't come out the bat complimenting me, I already know. Like it's not going to be a good situation. The whole, like, what are you up to? It's just very annoying. Listen, you're not about to ask me out. I'm not about to see you today. It doesn't matter what I'm up to. It doesn't matter what I'm up to. What are you doing right now? How's your weekend going? What did you do? Anything exciting? That's really annoying question too. Anything exciting? It's like, it's almost like they kind of want to, I don't know. I feel like it's like almost like it's not an early devaluation, but it's like leaning towards that because they want you to say nothing. Oh, okay. So you're not exciting. So you shouldn't be expecting an exciting date from me then, since you're not already doing exciting things. I don't know. That might be a reach, but that's kind of like the feeling that I get. Roa says, I think it's because women tolerate a lot more when they are younger. When they turn 30 or 40, the tolerance for BS is much higher. I don't know. The tolerance for BS is much higher. I don't know. You mean lower? The tolerance is lower? These young men have got on my last nerve this weekend with their dusty messages, thinking they're the prize. Um, and they'll tell you like, "Oh, I don't want any commitment. I just want to hang out." I've seen guys talking about Netflix on the couch. I mean, it's just I've just been flooded with dust in my inbox since I lowered the age range. I just wanted to kind of experiment. I just wanted to kind of experiment to just see. Like maybe maybe there are some decent younger guys, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I had amnesia about about things and wanted to go back because like most of the guys I date, they're mostly divorced and their kids are older, and I have a little kid and they're finished having kids. So I was like, well, let me just see what's out there younger, maybe with younger kids or no kids or whatever the case may be. But ooh, child. Baby, I'm about to go back over where I'm more at peace because I cannot deal with these young guys. I do not have the patience at all. I had to realize I'm not going to be upset because I don't have a headache of a guy. Hey, Mocha Mommy. Hey, girl. Hey, I was just talking on the live about experimenting with my age range on the dating apps. I lowered the age range and I hate it here. It is not fun. It's not fun at all. These guys have gotten on my nerve this weekend with their dusty messages and entitlement and laziness and just ill. Just ill. And then some of them, I mean, they look like they have decent jobs or whatever. And we're not even talking that young. We're talking late 30s, early 40s. You know? We're not even talking that young, and they have really thoroughly gotten on my nerves. I know I have some screenshots. I know I have some screenshots. And it was just so much. I couldn't even document all of it. Like the messages were so dusty and there were so many of them that I couldn't even, I just was like, I'm just matching or blocking. I'm just gonna either unmatch or block. And it was even like too much to capture. It's just too much. Meanwhile, I'm having this conversation with this older gentleman who he's trying to plan a date for January. Okay. He's trying to plan a date for January and making arrangements. I think, yeah, he already picked the day that he wants to take me out. So, when you come from somebody that plans, oh, and then Teddy upgraded us the other day. We went out to this lounge and he like the nicer sections of the lounge, they only had it like it could seat, I think, up to 6 people or something. It's like a big booth. And so they charge for like basically the whole table. You buy the tickets by the table. And he went ahead and bought us the big table because he was like, I know you like booths and I didn't want us sitting out on a table. So it's just me and him in this big like booth section. So, I can't go back. I can't go back. I can't. I can't go back to these entitled young guys. I just can't. I don't know. It could also be a generational thing. Millennials are in their 30s and early 40s now. Yeah, millennial men get on my last emming effing nerve. Millennial men get on my last emming effing nerves. Real talk, Crip Walk. They really annoy the out of me. They just annoy me. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And this is guys of a variety of hues and cultures that have all they've been a rainbow coalition of getting on my nerves. So, but of course, the BMs have their own little particular, what would you call it? They have their own they're special. They're they're very special. They're very special. They really do, honestly, with their full chest, believe that they are the prize. Like they will say it with their whole chest. Okay. Mm, let me tell you. Hold on. Okay, it's coming back to my mind now. Okay, one guy on his profile. this was a this was like a 40-year-old BM. He put on his profile that he wants somebody humble. That's the key for don't ask me for shit. And don't expect nothing from me. He wants somebody humble that likes to hike and do I think go grab a cup of coffee, get a cup of coffee and be low key and relax. Then in another section in his bio, he wanted somebody independent. Okay. A lot of these dudes be putting I want somebody independent, hardworking, uh ambitious. It's like he's looking for a whole man, right? It's like he's looking for a whole man. He wants somebody independent, hardworking, ambitious, that like to walk in the park or to hike and have a cup of coffee. And then another section of his profile, he put, I expect you to look your best anytime you're around me or some shit like that. Like I expect you to look flawless or gorgeous every time and keep yourself up. And it's like, don't you understand that those two things are opposing? But I mean, they don't. They don't. It's no reason to even engage in that conversation because they don't. They don't understand. When you think that you are a God king, you feel entitled to it all. You don't want to do anything and you want the prize. You want the prize, you want to be the prize. You don't want to work for anything. You feel entitled. Oh my gosh. That was hilarious. I don't know if I took a screenshot of that one, but that one stood out to me. I just laughed. I laughed so freaking hard. Because on one end, you want her walking through the park, hiking, And then in the next thing, you're saying she needs to look drop dead gorgeous at all times. Make it make sense. What was another message that I saw over the weekend? Gosh. Oh, a lot of the BMs be talking about, I'm looking for my wifey. I'm looking for the one or something like that. Like, you know, and it's like, that they're not. They just say that because they know that that's what Black women want to hear, but they're not. They're not. They're not looking for a wifey or anything like that. So that's one of those funny things that I see on their profiles a lot of times. Like they pretend that they're marriage minded and they're absolutely not. They're only interested in extracting your essence and wasting your time. Okay? They are professional time wasters. He heard that from a dating coach and didn't realize it doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, they're really stupid. No, I don't. I mean, no, they're stupid. No, they're dumb. And they also, I don't know, just miserable. You know what I mean? It's like being miserable and not, you know, not really like wanting to be well, part of narcissism is that you aren't self-reflective. So their behavior is in alignment with the condition. People with narcissistic traits lack self-awareness and they lack the ability to be self-aware. They lack the ability to be insightful, right? To like have insight. That's one of the conditions of the personality disorder. So their inability to connect their behavior with their outcome is a part of the condition of the narcissism. You know what I mean? So, that is what it is. That's neither here nor there. It's really like not my problem. I was kind of rude the other day, and I'm usually not rude, even to BMs. I'm usually not. But the other day I went to the post office and I had on this like Kente scarf, and a lot of times they don't talk to me because I look unapproachable and I look expensive as well. So a lot of times they don't talk to me, but this one was like, "Oh, you representing," and I just like kind of scowled. And it was just like I really like I just don't want no smoke. I would rather just like smile and nod and just get out of a situation because they just can be violent at the drop of a dime. You just never know. I don't know. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, one time I was polite and there was this little struggle bandit. I was actually on a date. Oh, actually, I think I told y'all I had two bad dates in 2021. I've had three. I don't know if that was 2021 or 2020. But I went out with it. Well, I don't know. That's not really like a whole date. That's like a half a date. Because I ended up cutting it short with that guy. That guy was so annoying. I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and go. Like I just left. But I was on a date with this guy, and uh, he went to the bar to get me a drink, and I was kind of standing off to the side, and this little struggle bandit came up to me. He had to be about 5'5", 5'6" at most, and he was like, started talking to me. How are you? Hey, and I was like, hello. He was like, so, did you come here alone? And I was like, no, I'm on a date. And he was like, no, you're not. And I said, yes, I am. That's my date right there. And I pointed to the guy that was at the bar getting me a drink. And then the struggle bandit says, oh, well, you gonna have a one night stand? And I was like, that was rude. And he was like, well, I'm just saying, are you going to have one? Are you going to have one? You said you're on a date. What? Are you going to have a one night stand? And I was like, listen, I'm just telling you I'm on a date. I really don't, want to answer that. You're being rude for no reason. I'm just sitting here minding my business and you're being rude. I promise you, this struggle bandit started posturing, like squaring up with me. And I'm like in a dainty dress and heels. And and he's like upset that I'm calling him rude because he's approached me following Kitten Hill's advice to be rude and aggressive with women. And so I went to security and was like, this guy's bothering me. And once he saw that I went to talk to security, he left or whatever. And then the guy comes back, he has no idea that this thing has exchanged. So I'm just saying that to say, like, there's no right or wrong way to deal with a bandit. You can be nice and they still could be violent and aggressive. You could be neutral and they could be violent and aggressive. You could be rude and they could be violent and aggressive. So it's really like no surefire way to prevent somebody from doing anything. But definitely, use your mind first, before your mind is your first security response, trying to think your way out of a situation, before you resort to physical. So anyway, yeah. But yeah, no, I scowled at this guy at the post office and then I was like, dang, I didn't have to scowl at him. I'm just like y'all don't understand how irritated I just want to maintain my space. And I definitely don't want to give you my number. I don't want you to ask because if you ask for my number and I reject you, then I'm at risk. So I just don't want you to talk to me at all. I might start pretending I'm on the phone or something. I don't know. She said it's crazy. The big talk men have online would never happen if they were in a sports bar. Yeah, no way. These red pill and alpha male strategies only work on pick me's. It's good that you got security. Glad to hear you got safe. So what are you going to do now? Did you already change it back? No, I'm gonna change it back. Yeah, I'm gonna change it back. Um, I'm gonna go back to my old, like I'm gonna go back to the age group that I feel comfortable with, that I have good, that I feel good about. I'm gonna go back to where I get treated good. I just don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with the young mess. Now, when I've gone out in person, I've done okay with younger guys. I mean, it's like they'll buy a section or they'll buy drinks or buy whatever. Like I don't spend any money when I'm, entertaining with younger guys in person. But the follow-up on the phone, it never goes anywhere, because they're not serious. They're just kinda slinging their peen and, they're not ready for anything, and it's kinda weird because it's like, we're talking late 30s, early 40s, so you would think that that would be the time that you will have done everything in your 20s. You had your whole, like, early 30s to still kinda, like, explore, like, you should be normally ready to commit by I think by your early 40s, like, that's you would think, but this generation is so freaking delayed, they're not ready. At 40, they're trying to run around like they're 20 something, you know? So, I like it with my older guys. I'm, yeah, low key a little bit spoiled, unfortunately. And some of the spoiling, you can thank Teddy for that. And I just like keep getting more spoiled and whatever. But yeah, I'm a little bit spoiled. A little bit. Not a lot, but a little, a little bit. So, I don't want to revert back to that kind of those mind games and stuff like that. Because I was thinking to myself, how I used to approach, especially when I used to date BMs, I would start. working with them immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would see their deficiencies and I would just start working with it. Like, okay, well, let me work with him. Let me make him social. Let me, give him more, you know, tools to succeed, basically. And I think there was a part of me that had this belief that it was my duty to kind of like give them the tools to succeed. Like, here's what you need to do, exactly what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. And now I have a completely different attitude. There are certain things that I look for initially, which have a lot to do with like, does he adore me? Okay, that's like my main thing I'm trying to find out. Do you adore me? Because if you don't, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Hedge fund guy, one of my apps, I can tell when people look at my profile. I was supposed to go out with hedge fund guy last week, and he checked my profile like 3 times, and he didn't write me. He didn't confirm a date, and my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do about it. There's literally nothing I can do. You know that you were supposed to make reservations. You know you were supposed to take me out. You're lurking on my profile, but you haven't asked me out. Like, I'm not gonna follow up with you. Like, the old pick me ways were like, oh hey, what about Wednesday? Or hey, what about Thursday? Hey, following up, like whatever happened. Like, that's the pick me approach to things. But no, like, you very well know what you're doing. You know what you committed to, and you didn't follow through on your commitment. Like, the feminine response is to do nothing. The feminine response is to do nothing, continue to live your life, uh, go out with other men, live your life, do you, and keep it pushing. It's definitely not to like run them down. Oh, what about, what about, what about? Let me see. Maybe it could already be the area too. Like, there could be younger men in country clubs or high earning zip codes. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm open to, trying it out, but I don't know. Maybe also you just kind of get into a groove where you're finding success. And my success is like late 40s to mid 50s is my best age demographic. So, maybe just stick with that. And, there's other things that I have to reconcile in my mind around that, because you know, it's not like I'm gonna like endlessly date. Well, who knows? Maybe I will. I don't know. Coco Chanel did it well into her 80s, so maybe I will. But but if if there were one suitor that could replace everybody, I'm out. Like, I'm out. I'm gonna secure the bag the right way. If there's somebody that can compete with that can replace everybody, then what's the point of the roster? You can commit, you can put some paperwork, some security in place. As you know, I'm not committing without no paperwork. Okay. I need will, I need trust, I need insurance. Okay. I need some real estate. My name need to be on the deed. I need some paperwork. I need a paper trail and paperwork before I am off the market. Okay. So yeah, it's not like I'm not open. I'm open to it. If something like that happened. So your end goal is marriage right now. My end goal is having fun and getting the bag, girl. Okay. That's my goal right now. Having fun and getting to the bag. Because there was a restaurant on my bucket list that I went to recently, and there's other places that I want to go to. Oh, the guy who's planning the date in January, he's taking me to one of my bucket list place, and it was his idea, and now he's asking me about a dress and heels. So that to me means that you're about to order something on my Amazon wish list, or you know what I'm saying? So my goal is to have fun, get to the bag, have some great experiences. That's my goal. And it doesn't matter. Like you can say, "Oh, marriage is my goal." That is like you women don't control marriage. So how would I, control that? It doesn't make sense. If it happens, it happens. I don't get with guys saying that I want to be married, I want a serious relationship. I don't even start it off like that. 'Cause those be the main women that they be trying to get. They get the women who don't harp on, "Where are we now? What's going on with this relationship? Who am I to you?" Those be the women that they chase, okay? The women who seem not to care, that's the women that they chase. Trust me. I think if you're in a religious community, I think it helps. I think that it works more if you're in a religious community and y'all have the same religion, that dating is definitely different, and a lot of times people in religious communities are more like marriage minded dating. You know what I mean? So, in that sense, for a lot of the women who date within their religious community, they can approach things differently. But if you're just like regular in the regular secular world, I don't know. That's not my approach. I know people have different thoughts. People have different approaches, and people have found what works for them. But what I'm saying is that I would not commit to anybody without paperwork. I'm not interested in having a title. Oh, this is my girlfriend or whatever. I don't, you can keep the girlfriend title. I don't need that. But I do need to be on this deed though. You understand? Like I would never move in with a guy without paperwork of some kind. It could be it could be marriage. I mean, and even with marriage, I would want to do an agreement and a trust and all the legal paperwork and financial security. So a lot of times when people are talking about, oh, you get in this relationship and this guy is taking care of you and now you're destitute. Listen, the women who are destitute are the women who don't do proper paperwork. Okay? Those are the women who end up in destitute, the women who don't properly save, who don't put money to the side, who don't invest for themselves. I think I'll do a separate live about engagements because I have, some thoughts around that. Because one thing you have to understand is that an engagement ring is the only gift that can legally you can be forced to return it. So it's basically a loan. When a man gives you a ring, it's a loan. It's not really yours. Until you get married, it's a loan. It's a promise that this is like a gift that's contingent on marriage. So it's not really yours. So if he calls off the marriage or you call off the marriage, he can take you to court and get the ring back. So I wouldn't ever commit to marrying anybody unless I had paperwork. Like I need real estate. I need like a massive transfer to my portfolio. I need something that is mine that cannot be taken away from me. And I think that women have to get strategic like that. That's how you don't end up being destitute when you're about your bag. Forget about being humble and meek and marrying for love and all that. No, do all your paperwork, get the paperwork in order, and then you do the love afterwards. Okay. After the paperwork is in order, then you do all the lovey dovey stuff. But you got to get the paperwork in order. You need to be protected in his absence, or if he's whatever can't work or whatever the case may be. You need to be protected. Your assets need to be protected. So all of that should be in order. I think some of it before you even get engaged. And then, initially there needs to be paperwork upon engagement. And then I think throughout the course of the engagement, then the additional paperwork needs to be worked up and written up. You need to get your own attorney. Don't use his attorney. Don't use his family's attorney. Get your own attorney. And do whatever you have to do to pay for it. Like, it's going to be worth it in the long run. But shoot, if you work your relationship right, you probably can get the money from him and then use that for your attorney. Somebody that's going to advocate for your best interest. Okay. Let me see here. Agreed. Whenever I follow young male colleague on social media, there is so much mess. But these guys hardly make eye contact in the break room. It's strange. Yeah. Yeah, they're very socially awkward. Very socially awkward. You have a muse. I'm crafting mine too. Oh, what are you crafting, Kamaya? Because I'm catching up on the comments. I hope I don't offend you or anything, but would you ever consider doing like a sugar baby arrangement? Oh, girl, I'm not offended. I don't know. Sugar baby. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about sugar baby arrangement. I don't know. I guess it's like semantics. You can call it spoiled girlfriend. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it sugar baby. You can call it baby sugar. I mean, it's really semantics. At the end of the day, I would like good experiences, great treatment, and investment. So, whatever you want to call that. I don't promote women to be sugar babies on the channel, though. You know what I mean? Like, this is not. I've never been like, become a sugar baby. No, I don't do that because there's different women on here for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's women with different goals. There are some aspiring sugar babies. There are some people who already have had arrangements. There's people who just want to be into a committed relationship. There's people who want to start a family. They want children and they're ready to get that going. There's women on here that are just starting dating. So it's different so many different objectives and people doing different things. But ultimately, the main overarching message that I have that I encourage women to do is to collect investments because your time is not free. And the whole notion of being, this person that expects nothing in return for your energy, that's what I discourage. And the connotations around requiring investments from a man who is getting your time, attention, and affection. And that's going to look so different for different people. It's going to look really different in what type of lifestyle you want to live too. And I had to kind of understand that. Like, there's people who um, are very satisfied with certain levels of lifestyle. So I think that each woman really needs to get to know herself and explore the world have different experiences, and really see what do you like, what don't you like, um, you know, where do you want to live, what's enough for you, what would be satisfactory to you. And then once you know that within your heart of hearts and you feel good with the level of life that you would like to live, then then when you approach dating and when you consider committing to anybody, then you would know, okay, this is the lifestyle that I require that my man provides for me. So that's so individualized, and even I had to kind of um, just kind of like just reorient myself with that idea that there's just like there are women on here who don't need to do all of some of the lavish over the top stuff that I do. Like sometimes I do be team too much. And I've said that. Like they'll be like, oh, you need to do all that. You gotta-" And I'm like, yeah, I do be team too much sometimes. I do. And not everybody wants to do all that. Some people are want to cook in or want to, do low key things and they feel satisfied with a variety of things. And then some women are like, oh no, you didn't, you know, make me fly first class. I need a private jet. So you understand, like it's such a variety. And but I just encourage you to like understand what it is that you want. Because I know for me, with the lifestyle that I would want, if it's going to be mediocre, I just feel like, well, I can just do it myself. And then I don't have the work because it's like it is kind of low key work to cater to a man's ego and all of that, and it's some work involved with that. And so I don't want to commit to that level of work if it's not super lucrative for me. If it's just going to be an average da 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 da, like I don't value the companionship to where I would sacrifice on comfort. I don't want a warm body laid next to me in like a mediocre situation. I will pass. I would rather do me, live my life by myself and date than committing to mediocrity. My version of it. Understand? Like what I would consider unacceptable. I wouldn't be willing to do it. I'm simply not willing to do it. But yeah, everybody has to create that standard of living. The type of standard of living that you want to live, you have to create that for yourself. They usually give out a girlfriend experience and the men will sponsor them. I like a preferred dating profile, this age, bio, job, approach type of thing. Um, they usually give out girlfriend experience. Oh man, there with even with the sugar world, that is a variety as well. But I think like I have given advice as to like women who are interested in sugaring that you don't get scammed because sugaring is very attractive to a lot of younger women of all ages really. You're like, wow, I don't have to do anything and this man is just gonna sponsor my life. And so there's a lot of scamming guys that know that women are really eager to get involved with sugaring, and so they will waste your time. They will pretend to be wealthy. They'll pretend all these things, and then women are gullible, and they're very eager, and so they end up sometimes in bad situations because they get scammed by fake sugar daddies. So, in that sense, I've given advice. I have an advice called like spotting fake sugar daddies or something like that. But like, yeah, I don't feel no ways about sugar babies. I'm like, if that's what you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. you know, you want to be a spoiled girlfriend, do that. I just joined another luxury black woman group, and one thing that I can say is that there's a like I'm noticing a theme of like women with really high self-esteem. There are some women who have posted conversations that they're having with their partners, and the partners are just so supportive of them. And like they're not technically a sugar baby, but they're just like getting taken care of by their boyfriend or significant other or husbands, posting like, "Oh, my husband bought me this car, my husband bought me this, my husband bought me that." Now there's some sugar mamas in there too, but we can table that for another day. But I was just thinking, like, I really like it over here. I like these Black women with a high self-esteem. There's not a lot of struggle love conversations going on. There's not a lot of help me redeem my bandit relationship. Oh, I'm so depressed. You don't see a lot of that over there. It's like these women really value themselves. And it's not a relationship group at all. It's just about luxury. But there's just a running theme that I'm seeing with these women in luxury, that they have a higher self-esteem than the average Black woman group that you would join. You know, like they think they know they deserve these things, and they're gonna get it by hook or by crook, like by one way or another. They're going to get the things that they want and they believe they deserve. Not all, but many. You're right about the paperwork. I knew a young woman who got married. Day after the wedding, the husband signed up on a house with his parents instead of his wife. They are now divorced. Yeah, don't step foot in that house until you're on the deed. I told this woman that a long time ago when I was a pick me at the time. But even in my worst pick me days, even in my worst mammying days, I had these like I wasn't I guess I wasn't like a super mammy and I wasn't like a super pick me. And I still had some understandings of like how you need to maneuver things. And I told her, I said, do not move into that house until you get on the deed. And he gave her every excuse for not doing it. And very similar, he ended up kicking her out, or she left him. He was a psychopath. And um, not only did he keep the house, but like the judge ordered that she had to leave furniture that her family bought for them, like as a couple. Like really, like they bought it for her to be comfortable because he didn't have any furniture. He was a what did they say? An air mattress mandingo? Sinji. Shout out to Sinji. He was an air mattress mandingo and there wasn't any furniture in the house. So her family gifted her with furniture. Well, when she left the relationship, the George ordered that she had to keep the furnishings in the home. This man was fighting her in court for a damn blender. Okay? A blender. The pettiness of it all. Like, ooh, child. So anyway, I say all that to say, get the paperwork in order. You know, don't move in with anybody because like then what's the incentive to do anything? Get everything in order before you move in. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I just wanted to come on here and chat a little bit, mainly about the age thing, and then we hit on some other things as ideas were shared in the chat. We just kind of went with the flow and talked about other things and got a semi roster update, but not really, but sort of. So anyway, y'all, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, share, like, and I will catch you soon. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye.